So, as you guys probably know, I was out on the East Coast in Maine, and this is one of the pictures I took there. Kind of beautiful lighthouse. I don't know if you guys can see it online. Lighthouse, but it kind of reminded me of a saying that I heard. I guess it's a quote by Anne Lamott. And she said, lighthouses don't go running around all over trying to find boats to save. They just stand there shining. And so I think it's a good reminder, right? Sometimes we make ourselves frantic, running around trying to help people. But if you just be yourself, shine out, be calm, and stand there just like a lighthouse, it sometimes works a little better. So think about that and think about your posture as you close your eyes. And sit up tall. So today we're going to try to be more like a lighthouse. And a lot of times the lighthouses were embedded in stone. Sometimes they actually built a stone mounting for it, for them to put this lighthouse on. So we're going to work on grounding. And then thinking about your long, strong core. Every lighthouse usually has that. They have to be strong to endure any storm that comes their way. But they also have this beautiful light that they shine out in all directions. Find your breath. Lighthouses only have one purpose, and that's to serve others. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all remember to be more like a lighthouse. They certainly have a view of lots of beauty, lots of grace. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. And we're going to start standing. So come on up to standing. And make sure your feet are hip distance, right under your hips. And then lift and spread your toes apart and feel all four corners of the feet grounded. And then stretch the toes long and place them down. And then think about, so that's grounded. Now think about your legs. See if you can engage the muscles on your legs so much that you can even feel your kneecaps lift a little bit. And then work up through your core, through the top of your head, and stretch your arms up. Now try and maintain that level of connection to the floor, but arc to your right side. Can you still feel that foundation? Even though your core is long and strong, kind of let it stretch out a little bit. You go easy, Jeanette. And come back to center. Reconnect with the floor and arc to the other side. And come back to center. And bring hands to heart center. Now really notice these have that same level of commitment in your legs. Shift your weight to your right leg and just lift your left heel. And then turn the knee out. So heels against ankle. Really feel maybe both the kneecaps engaging. Lengthen up, stretch your arms up. It's an easier version of tree pose, but I want you to experience that. Feeling the commitment of the grounding and the length in your core. Good, and then release. Stand back on both feet for a moment, and then shift. Lift the right heel, turn it out. Get that level of commitment, stretch up. Artemis missed all of you too. She stays with you, Connie. She's like, there's my girl. I release. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do this again. So shift back to your right foot. Yeah, it doesn't take long to warm up. When you're really committed here and in your core, feel your glutes even. And then lift the heel. And this time lift the foot and place it under the knee. And find your balance, maybe extend your arms. Commit with all parts of your body. Feel like you're embedded in rock. And release. And switch again. I always have to remember to super commit before I move. And extend. I always have to use that really strong core when you're balancing. Your body makes little shifts to help you balance. Good, and release. Good. One more time, and you can do this again, or you can bring the foot up. So take the time to really ground. Lift both knees. Shift your weight. Use your toes as well, even though you're using weight in all parts of your foot. Find your pose. Stretch up. Even the foot that's on the leg, I want you to feel like it's grounded in the standing leg. And release. Very good. Sometimes when you repeat, you notice new things, right? Okay, so really take time to engage. And come on up, whatever pose you're doing. Think of core. One more breath. And release. Very good. Good. Now, come to the front of your mat and have your blocks handy in case you want to use them. Oh, sorry. Some people forgot to grab blocks. Come on over to see Helen, Artie. You may or may not want to use them. But really take the time to find your strong feet and legs again. And just notice as you work up your strong core. I always have to tell my low belly to drop. Drinking lots of beer on vacation. I have to really work at it. Good, stretch your arms up. They have good beer in New England. Good, now fold forward, go slow and see if you can keep the legs engaged the whole time. And come to the blocks. Now step your right foot back, not all the way to deep lunge, but all the way so you can ground the back foot down. Keep the left knee bent. And think, do I have everything squared up? Even that back leg, does it feel, and foot, does it feel grounded? Bring your hands to the front knee and come up to a warrior one. It's working up your spine. Your back knee, do you feel like you're engaging the muscles around it, keeping it safe? Good, now bring hands to heart center. Straighten the left leg. Feel grounded through both feet. Maybe fold forward and find your blocks. You might have to use the higher height on the blocks. This is triangle pose. You still feel both big toe mounds grounded, both little toe mounds grounded, inside and outside of heel. Good, now bend back into the front knee. Transition back up to that warrior one position. You still feel super grounded through both feet. The core nice and long. And bring hands to heart center. Shift your weight now to your left foot and step forward. Tadasana. And stretch up. And give yourself as that really bright lighthouse. Close your eyes for a moment. Just imagine that shining out in all parts of your head. Good. Fold forward, hands to the block if you want. And just pause in a forward fold for a moment. Just notice if you're still as grounded in all parts of your feet and legs. And then step your left foot back to that warrior one position. My toes have to turn out slightly to keep my hips square. Then I just slowly work my way up so I can really feel grounded and stretch up. Lift the kneecap on the back leg, maybe even on the front leg. One more breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Straighten the right leg. Keep that level of commitment to grounding and fold forward. Touch the blocks or the floor. You can decide what level you need. Breath. I always have to check my feet, check my legs. Good, bend back into the front knee. Check your commitment on the back leg, especially as you come back up, warrior one. If your heel wants to come up, just step that foot forward a little bit. Bring hands to heart center. You can lean forward a little bit, shift the weight to your right foot, and step forward. Stretch up to that really grounded Tadasana. And please fold forward, Uttanasana. Oops, I got one foot in front of the other. So just check your commitment there. Make sure you feel super grounded. And then turn the toes out a little bit. If you want to, you can widen your feet and come down to a deep squat. And see if your heels come up, don't go quite as deep. Let's go to a spot where you feel grounded. I would really want you to feel grounded through all parts of your feet. And just relax there. Feel like the arches are lifted even though the big toe mounds are down. Good, now this is going to be super graceful. Come down to your behind and go ahead and lay down. So now you feel you're hopefully grounded. Let's work on core a little bit. So just notice your sacrum down, maybe your shoulder blades flat so you feel like your rib cage is back. You draw your low belly up, but you still have a little curve under your low back. And you're just lengthening your spine. Now keep that as you lift the knees above the hips, lift the shins parallel to the floor, and flex your feet. Good. Bring your hands on your thighs, this abdominal bracing. And I want you to really think of grounding and lengthening, just like the lighthouse. So press up and away and resist. But don't do it so hard that you can't breathe. Just feel like it's a little work in your core. Keep breathing. Keep resisting, drawing the low belly up, lengthening. 3 more breaths. And then hug your knees into your chest and relax a moment. You can roll side to side if you want. I never said being a lighthouse is easy. You have to endure a lot of storms. You also get a lot of sunny days. Good, come back to that abdominal bracing position. Flex your feet, don't forget that part. Check your core, lengthen, and then press. This time, bring both hands to the left thigh. And keep that same level of commitment with your right leg as you extend it. You're going to feel it in your abdomen a lot. Keep breathing. Lift the kneecap. Bend the right knee. Switch your hands. And extend the left leg. Nothing changes in the core. Bend the left leg. One hand on each thigh. And relax. Hug the knees in. Good. And then roll to your side. And come on up to all fours position. So now it's easy to get the feet grounded. Can you get your hands grounded as well so that you're not just dumping all the weight in your wrists? So spread the weight through the finger mounds, fingertips. Middle finger should point forward. And then do some cow cats. Just remembering that strong core that you just worked on. Stretch those muscles back out a bit. How's it going over there, Jeanette? Yeah, good. Hopefully she pulled a muscle. So hopefully this will help her out a little bit. One more round. And then pause and just go side to side a little bit. So rib cage moves to the right and then back through center and to the left. We're just working on all parts, front, back, sides. You can feel your limbs loosen or your joints loosen up as well. Good. And then come back to center. Check your level of commitment to grounding. And then extend the right leg straight back. Now we all have a tendency to lift it and turn the toes out. I want you to really focus on keeping those toes straight down. Use your core and extend the left arm. And then point and flex your right foot a few times. I always have to remind myself to engage not only the hamstrings here and the glutes, but maybe the quads as well. Good, now lower the right knee and extend the left arm up. And then thread it underneath for thread the needle. And breathe. And come on up and we'll repeat that on the other side. So plant your hands, plant your knees, get the level of commitment in your core as well. Extend the left leg, toes point straight down. Extend the right arm. You can point and flex your left foot. See if you're using the quad muscles as well as hamstrings and glutes. Good, lower the left knee, stretch the right arm up and thread it underneath. You guys are making me sweat. One more breath. And come on up. Just bring your hands forward just a little bit of your shoulders, but use the same commitment of grounding through your hands. Then lift your knees about an inch off the ground. See if you can not change the core as you do that. And hold. Really good, you guys. One more breath. And then lift the knees a little higher, bring your hips up and back and stretch into a downward facing dog. Notice your level of commitment through your hands, through any parts of your feet that are touching. I would prefer that your heels are up actually, because then you can feel better the stretches in your legs, and then just walk out your downward facing dog. Good, and then come forward to a plank pose. Draw your low belly up, hold there. Press through your fingertips. Lift your kneecaps even here. So think, really engage all parts of my legs, And then you can lower your knees to lower down if you want to, or you can lower down to the mat. Hands by your chest. Stretch your toes long and actively press the tops of your feet and your toes down. And see if your knees don't come up off the floor a little bit, and even engage the quad muscles here. And then lengthening your spine, lengthening the back of your neck, lift to a cobra. Keep those feet grounded. And lower. And just do that 2 more times with your breath. So on your inhale, stretch up, engage your legs and your feet, lengthen, and exhale back down. One more time. Good. Now, staying low, bring your arms back by your hips. Again, press the tops of your feet down. Think of grounding there. Maybe your knees lift, maybe they don't. Lengthen, draw your rib cage back, head of the arm bones. Lengthen and then draw back, and then lift your head, lift your chest, keep grounding your feet. Shalabhasana variation. Feel my legs working a lot, my core. One more breath and lower down. Whew. Push all the way back to a child's pose now. And just relax for a minute. And then come on up to standing again. And turn towards the middle and take a wide stance. There you go. And just like we did in Tadasana, I want you to just think about grounding. So big toe mound, little toe mound, lift and spread the toes, inside of heel, outside of heel, and then stretch the toes down. Now we've worked grounding, we've worked core, so consider your core, and now we're gonna shine out. So bring your arms out, you're a star. Woohoo, shining out. Can you lift your kneecaps? You feel that level of commitment there? Stretch your arms up, you're still a star. Feel your core, feel your legs, bring the arms back down. Now just your front foot and leg, turn it towards me. Bend in, feel the commitment on your grounding, and bend into the front knee. You really feel grounded through the back foot. You feel your core committed and long and strong. Even try and lift the kneecap on that back leg. Your front leg, it's a little harder, but you can really feel the quads working. Good, now reverse it. So the back hand down, front hand up a little bit. Keep the front leg bent. Good, come back to warrior two position. Do you still have that level of commitment in the back leg, and the front leg, and the core? Good, stretch the arms up as you straighten the front leg. Turn that foot forward and switch. Other leg out. As you bend the knee, extend the arms. Just think level of commitment and grounding. You're in stone. It's easy to feel it in the front foot because your weight is more over the front foot. So you really have to commit to the back foot. Commit to those quads. Now reverse it. Back arm down, one arm up. Still keeping the level of commitment in all parts. And back to warrior two. Always check, man, when I do those transitions, I forget about that back leg being so strong. It's really a huge part of this pose. Straighten the front leg, stretch the arms up, turn the foot forward, and bring hands to heart center. A little break for your arms for a moment. Because we're gonna do one more pose there. So star pose. Check your commitment with your legs and your feet. Stretch the arms up. Turn the front foot out towards me again. Keep the legs straight this time. Bring the arms out. So we're doing triangle pose. So really work from the base up. Think, am I really embedded in rock? Is my core gonna hold me? And then just lean forward. Come to Trikonasana. You can go higher, you can go lower, wherever it feels like you can stay committed. And then shine out by thinking, my rib cage is back. I can lengthen through the top of my head and open my heart a little bit more. Beautiful, you guys. Good, bend your front knee, bring your elbow to the knee, and stretch to Parshva Konasana. You're still shining out. You still got 5 points of light. Can you still feel committed with that back leg? Stretch your arm up. Pretend like I'm pulling on your wrist and come back. Turn that foot forward. Stretch your arms up. And as you extend them again, turn the other foot towards the back wall. Check your commitment. Triangle pose. Just go slow. And you don't have to go so deep. Rather have you feel committed to the grounding and to the core than go so deep. Beautiful. You guys are great. Breathe. Commit with that back foot. Commit with all parts of your legs. Bend the front knee, elbow to the knee. Parshva Konasana. Stretch the arm by the ear if you'd like. That feels good. Don't lose the commitment with your back foot and leg. Tie your low belly up. Good. Stretch the arm up. Pretend like I'm pulling on that for you. Straighten the front leg. Stretch both arms up as you turn that foot forward. And bring hands to your heart center. Well done. Step your feet together. We might be stuck like that, right? And come to the front of your mat. And if you want your blocks, you can use them. You can just kick her off, Connie. Come here, Artie. Me. Yeah, there you go. I know. She was so lonesome. She had Will stayed here. Is that what you found when you came? Oh. Well, I think they had several get-togethers here. Yeah. Yep. Well, Gabby stayed here too, and then their dog. So Artemis and Teddy were traumatized, but that's okay. Artemis hid out, I think, the whole time. Okay, so ground your feet. We're just gonna do a few sun salutes now, just kind of practicing that whole thing of integration and then shining out. So get your feet really grounded, stretch your arms up, and then fold forward. Pranam and fold. Step your right foot back all the way to deep lunge this time. Lift the heels super high. So if you can lift the kneecap, you can use your blocks to get a little higher. I recommend it. And then go ahead and lower the back knee and immediately feel it ground into the mat or the cush. I always have to pull that knee forward. Keep the hips square and slowly work your way up to Anjaneyasana. I have to really work on the commitment in my core. Easy to feel and then shine out. You're a beautiful lighthouse. And on your next exhale, touch down. Lift the back knee, step forward. Wait for your commitment. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check your commitment. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Left foot back, deep lunge. Really commit with both legs and feet. Your core is nice and long. Your right hip crease stays back. You square. Lower the back knee and take your time coming up each step of the way to Anjaneyasana. Good. And next exhale, touch down. And set the blocks to the side because we're going to step back to a downward facing dog. Start with the knees bent. Think hip creases back and up. Lengthen your spine. Ground your hands. Now, if you're ready for a child's pose, feel free. Otherwise, come to plank. And see how slowly you can lower down to the mat. Keep your legs, kneecaps lifting. Strong core. And then lower down. Cobra when you're ready. Use the feet planted, long spine. Even if you're feeling it and you want to do up dog, you can lift the thighs off the floor and lower. Good. Curl the toes. Push back all the way to downward facing dog. Check your hands. Are they still really grounded? And then please step forward to a forward fold. Use your blocks if you need to. Take a moment there, just really appreciating what your feet and your legs are doing for you. And then use your core and sweep all the way up. And bring hands to heart center. Okay, let's keep going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Feel free to use your blocks anytime. Right foot steps back to deep lunge. Now we're not going to lower the knee this time. Unless you don't feel stable, then feel free to lower it. But I want to have you really check the foundation. So even though the back heel's lifted, you can feel that leg totally committed. And then bring your hands to the front knee and come up to crescent warrior, committing totally with your grounding and your core, and then maybe extending and shining out. Think of every exhale, maybe you shine out a little more. You're a bright star. And go ahead and touch down on the exhale. And please step forward. Pause a moment to really feel the grounding when you get in forward fold. And then step your left foot back to deep lunge. Same thing, you really feel the commitment in that back leg as well as the front leg as you slowly make your way upward. Crescent. So both feet super planted, both legs super strong, your core nice and long and strong. You can withstand any force of nature, any storm in your life, and shine out on top of it. Good, and on the next exhale, touch down. Good, step back to downward facing dog. And you guessed it, you can take child's pose or do a little vinyasa. So inhale to plank. Exhale slowly. Feel slow you can go. Next, inhale, cobra. Press those feet down. Maybe lift the knees. Really engage the quads. Lower down. And then option, curl the toes. You can push up back to plank, but engage the legs, both front and back first. Then push up. Notice how the legs help you. And then push back. Downward facing dog. And please step forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Feel your foundation. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. One more little fun exercise, I promise. So inhale, stretch up. Check your legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Lean forward slightly and step your right foot back. Not so far, just kind of so you're bouncy there. And then think of engaged feet legs, core, and lean forward. Shift your weight into your left foot. Lift the right leg to warrior three. Low belly draws up. Rib cage is back. Maybe extend the arms if you're feeling it. Whoa, evidently I'm not. And then touch that back foot down and step forward. Ooh. Now think to yourself, when you lift that back leg, can you engage the front side of your leg as well as the back side? Because it really helps a lot. And core, engage all parts of that. So let's try the other side. Just take a moment in your real lighthouse position. Maybe even close your eyes. Can you feel like bright even though your eyes are closed? And then inhale, stretch the arms up. Open your eyes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your left foot back just a ways. Your right knee's bent. Take a moment to really feel everything engaging. And then shift forward, warrior three. Bend your arms if you're feeling strong and stable. Shine out. Good. Touch that back foot down and step forward. Good job, you guys. Go ahead and transition down to your mats on your back. And just take a breather there. Just bring your right ankle across your left thigh. And then take a moment to think about your foundation. So I like to engage my feet even here. And then especially my core, I want to lengthen it and really get that involved. And then you can just stretch the right hip. If you've got everything else stable, then you can just work on stretching that right hip. Now, if you want more stretch, if this feels pretty easy, lift the left foot up and interlace behind it and lay back down. But same thing, keep everything engaged. Just allow the hip to stretch. So your spine's nice and long, your sacrum's down, maybe your shoulder blades are down as well. Nice long core. Good. Now release the left leg and bring the foot down right in the middle of your mat and let your right knee slide over the top of the left knee. So it feels like you're just kind of like in a lounge chair. And then hug both knees towards you. So right knee's on top of left. Good. Now bring your left foot off to the right and your right foot off to the left and flex them. Lift the shins a little bit. Lift your head and chest, reach up, grab the shins, and just kind of resist pulling down. This is called longhorn pose. You'll feel it more in your right hip. You want to lay back down. Feels like a nice hip stretch. And release. Both feet flat. Even lighthouses need a little hip opening. And bring your left ankle across. Let's check your foundation, your core. You want more stretch, interlace behind. Couple breaths. And bring the right foot down to the middle of the mat. Slide the left knee over. And then hug both knees in. Widen the right foot off to the left, left foot off to the right. Grab the shins, resist. You pull down a little bit, resist by pushing up. Your spine hasn't changed. It's nice and long and engaged. Drawing the low belly up, feeling a little more stretch in that left hip. Good. And then release. Unwind, feet flat again. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. Supta Baddha Konasana. Laying down, cobbler's pose. And then bringing the knees up, walk the feet to the edges of the mat. Arms in cactus, it works best. Just do a few windshield wipers. So both knees to the right and to the left. A few times, just get out the kinks. Lengthening back out all those muscles, your legs and your hips. And then bringing the knees up, go ahead and stretch out for nice Shavasana. Whatever position feels most comfortable to you, that's where you should be. Now imagine you're in a CT scanner and it's just moving from your head to your toes, and every place it scans, relaxes, and softens, and allows the floor to support you. You can visualize that, relaxing deeply. Jim Carrey wrote that, I feel that we're all lighthouses, and my job is to shine my light as brightly as I can to the darkness. And George Bernard Shaw said, I can think of no other edifice constructed by man as altruistic as a lighthouse. They were built only to serve. Believe if you're true to yourself, to who you are deep inside, you definitely emulate a lighthouse. Allow your breath to go into your heart space. Expand the light that's there, little spark. Noticing, appreciating your breath again. Start to make small movements when you feel ready. Eventually, drawing your knees in, rolling to the side. Just take your time. Pushing on up to seated when you're ready. Finding your nice regal lighthouse seat. And please bring hands to heart center. Thank you all for shining your beautiful light on me this morning. God built you well. Namaste. Ah, thanks, guys. Oh, she found Lydia. No, I did too. I was sweating too. It's a lot of work grounding. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Lisa. Good class.